Hello. Hello, everyone. So, guys, we're going to talk about how to use it, how to use crypto on a daily basis, how actually, well, now the guys spoke about exchange, but how to use every day. How to use every day is something that normally people say, okay, I have crypto, now what the hell are we going to do with that? Okay, so those guys that are going to come to talk to us now, they're going to give a little bit of usage and how we use it. So we're going to have Ken Kruger coming in the stage, John Chester, Mary Saracco, Juan Pablo Moreno, Miles Suter, and Franco will be the one who's going to mediate the panel. And stay tuned, because the next panel also is going to be very awesome. Guys, come to the stage. Let's talk about crypto here.
Hello. Hola. Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Ah, ya teníamos Pablo acá. Otra vez.
Boom. Hola, ¿cómo va?
¿Qué? ¿Alguien tiene que estar parado? Bueno, ¿cómo están todos?
Hola.
Hola, hola, hola. Ahí anda bien. Bueno, tenemos un panel que va a ser una especie de mix de idiomas, inglés, español. Así que, bueno, vamos a ver cómo va saliendo. Es un mix de aplicaciones, productos cripto de distintos usos y, bueno, a veces algunos se solapa con otro un poquito, otro no tanto. Y bueno, tengo un excelente equipo, yo soy cliente incluso de algunos. Y bueno, I'm going to start now in English, but feel free to speak in the language you prefer, no problem. And well, first, Barry, start describing what product and what problem does it solve your product?
For sure. Bueno, les cuento un poco. Mi nombre es Mary, soy Mary de Ping. Tenemos ahí justo afuera el stand. ¿Cuántos de ustedes son freelancers, contratos, para tener una idea? Gente que trabaja de manera remota. A ver, una show of hands. Ah, muchísimos. Bueno, entonces esta solución es para ustedes. Les voy a contar. Ping es una plataforma de pagos, ¿sí?, que le resuelve la vida a toda la gente que trabaja de manera remota, contractor, freelancer, nómada digital, bueno, ustedes digan. A donde nosotros le ofrecemos una cuenta en dólares en Estados Unidos y la posibilidad de bajarse su saldo a cripto y luego utilizarlo en moneda local donde quiera que estén. Operamos en 16 países y obviamente hoy la solución es muy útil para toda la gente que esté unos meses en Brasil, unos meses en Argentina, unos meses en Colombia, donde sea. Por último, también les cuento que tenemos la opción para empresas. Hay muchas empresas que nos están utilizando hoy que tienen que pagarle a todos sus developers, a todo su equipo, que le pagan de manera remota. Entonces tenemos una solución para empresas. Y no me estoy olvidando de nada más, me parece. Pero bueno.
Puedes profundizar luego después.
Sí, después contamos un poco más. Gracias.
Thank you. Jonathan, yes?
Yep.
BitWage.
Jonathan Chester. I'm the CEO, co-founder of BitWage. BitWage is the leader in Bitcoin and digital dollar payroll, invoicing, and benefits services. We have B2B products that work in the US, the EU, UK, Canada, and for companies that are digitally native around the world. We also have a B2C service that, similar to Ping, works with lots of freelancers, software developers, anyone who gets paid internationally. So let's say you're an Argentinian freelancer and you have clients in the US, in Canada, in Europe, in the UK. We'll spin up bank accounts for you to be able to receive those funds. We'll provide invoicing technologies that help you make it super easy to invoice and get funds hit into those accounts. And then we'll convert it into whatever currency you want. We're giving you the freedom to get paid in whatever currency into whatever wallet, whether it is your bank account at home, your non-custodial wallet, your ledger, or an exchange, or even the likes of Paying and some of the other guys on this stage. And yeah, that's what we do.
Thank you. Miles, no? Then we are going to do some specifics, but first, let's go intro.
Hello, my name is Miles Suter, and I'm the crypto product lead at CashApp. CashApp is a mobile payments app in the United States where you can send, spend, save, and invest your money. And we have over 49 million monthly active users. In 2018, we are the first public company to launch a Bitcoin wallet. And in 2022, we again became the first public company to fully support the Lightning Network on Bitcoin, which we're very, very proud of. Thank you. For many years, I've been obsessed with observing and helping to grow Bitcoin adoption around the world, whether that's through remittances in Manila, at the protests in Hong Kong, or in the long time I spent in El Zonte, in the lead up to the Bitcoin law. And so I just wanted to express my gratitude for all the wonderful people I've met here. Thank you so much for the invite. Thank you for showing me around as I get the privilege to learn about all the adoption going on here. And I look forward to much, much more.
Fantastic. Bueno, yo creo que es algo muy común en todos los que estamos acá. Buscamos hacer que el común de la gente sea parte de esta fiesta. Entonces, sí, consumo muchísimo el trabajo de BitWage, trabajamos en conjunto hace un montón. Y Krypton Market lo que hace es dar un lugar a todos los que son comercios, pequeños y grandes comercios que quieren recibir pagos, pero que después tienen que interactuar con la economía tradicional. Y al mismo tiempo le damos la oportunidad a las personas. Vieron que todos se llaman Bitcoiner, pero uno para ser Bitcoiner tiene que vivir en Bitcoin. Entonces, la única manera de que uno pueda vivir en Bitcoin es que existan canales que, digamos, comuniquen al Bitcoiner con la vida tradicional. Entonces, en Crypto Market hacemos eso, que compres una lapicera vía web, que pagues en un restaurante o que envíes dinero a través de billeteras cripto.
Gracias.
Por favor. Gracias.
Ken.
Hi, I'm Ken Kruger, the founder and CEO of Moon, also known as PayWithMoon. You can check us out at paywithmoon.com. We are the most private way to spend your Bitcoin in the world, enabling people to live on Bitcoin while upholding the ideals of the Bitcoin community. What we allow you to do is create virtual Visa cards that you can load with Bitcoin on-chain via the Lightning Network and spend at US merchants that accept Visa. One of the largest projects built on the Bitcoin Lightning Network, and we're just happy to meet so many people here in Buenos Aires who are trying to live on Bitcoin, and really great meeting so many people. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, I'm a techie guy, so the first question I'm going to ask you is to describe what technology or crypto protocol are you using for your solution. Or some of you already say Lightning Network, but I believe this is not the only thing, and some of you, so feel free to profundizar.
Entonces, con Ping usamos, bueno, Ethereum, la red de Stellar, porque obviamente Ping sirve mucho para hacer pagos cross-border de un país a otro, invertir el dinero. Y vamos a estar también agregando Rootstock.
So, estamos usando tokens, stablecoins, en distintas redes.
Correcto, sí.
Bien, perfecto.
La idea más que nada es, todos sabemos lo que es el dolor de cabeza de usar el dinero que te pagan en PayPal o Payoneer o en Wise, es un dolor de cabeza moverlo de ahí, y la idea es con stablecoins poder utilizar tus fondos y usarlos en la vida diaria, y un poco lo que dijeron recién de poder vivir y decir, bueno, soy Bitcoiner o fomento cripto, bueno, poder usarlo en la vida común.
Bien, perfecto.
Yeah, so obviously we use the Bitcoin rails when we're paying out Bitcoin everywhere. We also were the first service to actually do a third-party payroll on the Lightning Network. We paid a professional soccer athlete who was also the first professional athlete to get paid on the Lightning Network, as well as the CEO of a big Nigerian Bitcoin exchange. And it was quite fun because we got to test the actual capacity of the Lightning Network, because these were large payments, and at the time, maybe it was like half a year ago, we were trying to do thousands in a single transaction, and it was hard to do.
I didn't expect that.
What?
I didn't expect you using the Lightning Network for wages.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we're also big using stable coins, digital dollars, in a lot of places where maybe people are not ready for Bitcoin, but want access to be able to have digital dollars on their bank accounts, on their wallets, and able to spend it locally wherever. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, when it comes to CashApp, as I mentioned, we are Bitcoin only at this point and full supporters of the Lightning Network. One thing I do want to call out, though, is when we first launched in 2017 and 2018, there were no third-party providers that could just...
Sorry.
That was you. That was you, yeah.
There
There were no third-party providers to just let you spin up a front end on their centralized third-party service. So we stood up all our infrastructure from the ground up, our cold storage, our custom written wallet, all of that. And I just wanted to give a moment shout out to the team because I believe it's the world's best Bitcoin-only infrastructure. And when it comes to our Lightning node, we've been using a new implementation called the Lightning Developer Kit, which has been brought to market by the open source business unit within Block Inc., formerly known as Square, but just wanted to give a big shout out to the Spiral team there as well.
Está jodido, cada vez que habla se lleva aplausos el chabón. Bueno, a ver, nosotros somos como chicos pobres jugando con una juguetería, en una juguetería o en los juguetes del primo que tiene plata. Nosotros agarramos cualquier tipo de blockchain, tenemos un poco de criterio que se fundamenta un poco en la estructura de nuestra empresa. Nosotros tenemos Kryptonians y nodos que son agentes que se van formando como en una comunidad y que nos van acercando lo que aparece de su ecosistema. De esa manera somos amplios, trabajamos obviamente con los que todo el mundo trabaja como USDT, pero también podemos estar a la vanguardia de trabajar con monedas como Dollar on Chain, que es un producto argentino, que es un dólar respaldado en Bitcoin y que empezó el proyecto en el 2018. La primera venta se hizo la primera venta de Dollar on Chain se hizo en la una pizza, fue un acto, pero el primer hecho fue en la BitConf de Uruguay en el 2019, un disco duro y un adaptador se compraron en Uruguay con Dollar on Chain a través del procesador nuestro. Entonces, nosotros somos muy abiertos. Sí que tenemos que tener criterio de con quién trabajamos, porque si no después cargas con casos como los de Luna y todo eso cuesta, ¿no? Entonces, somos abiertos, queremos trabajar, no queremos ser el dueño de todo, aceptamos cualquier red, siempre y cuando la comunidad que avale esa red tenga un buen sentido.
Perfecto.
Gracias.
So Moon is a Bitcoin-focused company. We've been building on the Lightning Network. We're very early. We launched our product on the Lightning Network in 2019. We actually supported Lightning Network before we supported on-chain payments, which is kind of opposite, I think, of what many companies do. We've been building on the LND implementation. Shout out to Lightning Labs. We love their technology. Now, we've expanded to on-chain payments, and we're very interested in stable coins. So looking at, really solving problems around how do you move stable coins in a very efficient and cost-effective way. Very excited about the Taro protocol on the Lightning Network. I think there's a lot of potential there, so we're going to be very excited to work with that. Other than that, pretty simple. We're integrated with Coinbase, so if you can, move money into our platform from your Coinbase account, and we'll be integrating with other exchanges and platforms.
Yes, I was thinking about, especially your case, but when using Lightning Network in those cases, it helps a lot, I believe, because you have a fixed amount you send. The people cannot send more money or less money than what you ask. So I believe you have less support issues in your case in those.
100%. When we started with Lightning and then later added on-chain Bitcoin payments, and when that happened, we ran into all the problems that every other company has. Where I'm like 100 sats short. I'm 100 sats over. What happens with that? It not only affects the user experience, but it also actually affects regulatory issues.
Or delays also. Some people send it from exchanges, and maybe a day later the money arrives. And what do you do a day later?
Yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare on how you handle that. But we worked through it. It has become a significant source of volume for us. A lot of people, they don't have a Lightning wallet yet. They're not onboarded to the Lightning Network, so they need that on-chain functionality. But the way we see it as, we almost see our product as a gateway drug to the Lightning Network, They start doing on-chain, they're like, I got to pay all these fees, I got to wait 10, 15 minutes for a confirmation. But now, Lightning Network, wow, what is this whole thing? They always see if there's an option. Hey, they reach out to customer support and they say, hey, I was like $1 short because of the exchange rate, blah, blah, blah. And they was like, hey, why don't you get a Lightning wallet? And they're like, what's that, right? And now we're educating people on the Lightning network. And that's been very significant for us. And really, you know, once someone switches to Lightning, they generally don't ever go back.
Yeah.
Unless our Lightning node is down or something like that. So.
And I also think that a lot of projects and companies have been doing massive progress on improving their UI, UX experience for users, specifically with the new wave of adoption when we're talking about first-time users, I want to try Lightning or any other application. Apps today look so much better. They're so much more intuitive. Absolutely, yeah.
And one thing I want to add on there, when we rolled out Lightning deposits to all of our population within CashApp, a lot of those customers aren't necessarily Bitcoin users yet. And so we wanted to really take a step forward with improving that UX. And one of the problems that people often mention is this paradox of choice. If they're not familiar, not deep in the Bitcoin world, what is on-chain, what is Lightning? And what we decided to implement is what's called a BIP21 QR code that combines them, two QR codes into one. We're seeing a ton of great feedback from this. We're seeing other wallets like BitNob in Nigeria adopt this, but it really takes away that moment where customers have to think about this if they're not too familiar. You just kind of point and shoot, click and scan, and if you have Lightning, it'll go on Lightning. If you don't have Lightning, it'll go on chain. If there's no liquidity, it'll fall back on chain. But it's an open standard. It's been part of the protocol for a long time. And we're really proud to have been pushing this forward. And please reach out if this is something that your wallet wants to support as well.
Yeah, thanks for that, because I would love all wallets to have that support for that. But it's not there. The thing about Bitcoin is no owner, so no one decides really. All of you have to support this QR code, but it will help a lot to have that. So thanks for trying. Well, one thing we didn't talk about is where's product working. Okay, in some cases it's obvious that in Argentina works, some no, but maybe in the future you're planning in South America or something. So please talk about that a little.
So,
In what countries?
Sí, Ping funciona hoy en 16 países. Incluyendo todos los países casi de Latinoamérica, Argentina, por supuesto. Pero la verdad lo más importante es que damos un foco en mercados emergentes. Todos los países de mercados emergentes tenemos más o menos los mismos problemas. Entonces, a la hora de pensar Ping, dijimos, bueno, ¿por qué no nos enfocamos en una plataforma que pueda ayudar a toda la gente que tiene los mismos problemas de tener mucha inflación, situación inestable en todo lo que es la política y que necesita, por supuesto, esto de mover plata de un lugar al otro.
Sí, y a veces más que la inflación suele ser los capital controls, los bloqueos de transferencias internacionales, que la gente a veces del primer mundo no se da cuenta que eso pasa y se piensan que el primer problema para el uso de Bitcoin y criptomonedas y demás es la inflación, y muchas veces es el hecho de no poder recibir o enviar dinero internacionalmente, o si lo hacemos, ¿no?, con una confiscación monstruosa que no nos sirve de nada.
Sí, y yendo al origen, ¿no?, de Bitcoin y de cripto, tener dinero digital, o sea, cash digital, efectivo digital, poder usar tu dinero a donde quiera que estés y poder disponer de tu dinero sin importar nada más.
Yes, in that sense, BitWage also helps a lot. It's cheaper people that's working from abroad and needs to receive money here. Well, you count us what type of clients you have.
Yeah, so you know, we work globally. And the kinds of clients that we have, as I said before, we have a B2B service and a B2C. In B2C, I mean, Argentina is actually one of our biggest markets today. And the way that it works is you're from Argentina, or you could be from anywhere in the world, but you're from Argentina, you've got clients, we'll generate accounts for you to receive money into. They can be in the US, across the Eurozone, in Canada, in the UK, and funds will deposit into those accounts and we'll deliver them wherever, whenever, however you want, and what currencies and what bank accounts and what wallets. We also have a B2B service, and that you know, one of the things that we're really proud of is that we're really trying to bridge this sort of W2 to W3 gap. I mean, it hurts me to say that a little bit, but it's the easiest way to get it across, which is the idea that we work with average everyday companies. Most of our clients are not crypto-related companies. They're actually professional services or tech services. The average everyday person who doesn't know anything about Bitcoin, about digital dollars, about cryptocurrency at all, they'll come to use us to get access to the benefits without having to deal with the complications.
Thank you. Miles, about countries you support. I believe you are in USA now, but are you planning on?
Yep. So the beauty about Bitcoin and the Lightning Network is while CashApp Bitcoin functionality is only available for US CashApp customers at this point, is that it's a global network. And with Lightning Network, it's free and instant global payments on an interoperable global standard. And so we see customers in the US using this for international purposes all the time. For many years, we've seen flows go to Nigeria, which is one of the biggest Bitcoin markets in the world. And just last week, I had the honor to do a live demo the young man from South Africa, KG, is actually here. He's set up an app called Manchikura that operates on the USSD system in Africa, which is essentially like a feature phone. Imagine doing T9, hitting star 88331, and then going through endless menu after endless menu. But within this menu, he's been able to stand up essentially a wallet of Satoshi, a custodial Lightning wallet within this this deep menu of options. But this is bringing interoperability to customers across, or people around the continent within the means that they have and within a system they're already familiar with, one they use for mobile top-ups and whatnot. And so this live demo that I did with someone named Hafiz, and Ladunya is the name of what he's working on, he generated a Lightning Network QR code while on this live demo. I took my Cash App that's in the US and I scanned that QR code. And instantly and for free, via the Lightning Network and via the USSD system API that he's made, I was able to transfer my sats into Kenyan shillings via mobile money on our other friend's phone in Kenya. And so that's what I'm most excited about when it comes to international expansion and the possibilities of this network. Again, I mentioned I'm obsessed with growing Bitcoin around the world, and I'm always interested in learning more about countries like Argentina and really across all of LATAM. And so for now, Cash App is international via the Lightning Network from the US, but hopefully we can do some things that change that in the future.
So in case of currencies, you have Bitcoin and dollar. And in dollar, you can send money to people in the United States, and when you send Bitcoin, you can send Bitcoin globally, right?
Yep, as intended.
Two currencies. Thank you.
Es bueno eso porque realmente pasa de que cuando nos preguntan ¿en qué país trabajas? Y es como, país tiene que ver con otro mundo, o sea, nosotros como que estamos empezando, pero la pierna nuestra, que es la que está en el mundo actual, en la Argentina, en Crypto Market, nació en Argentina y se ha ido expandiendo. No quiero ser repetitivo, pero esto de aplicar la descentralización en la industria del retail ha hecho de que cualquier individuo que tiene un conocimiento como para representarnos y quiere ser parte de la industria, obviamente perseguir un dinero al cambio de eso y seguir con la causa, entonces puede ser un Kryptonian. Para eso el Kryptonian va a poder salir a compartir nuestra tecnología, como bien decían acá, de que para que cualquiera pueda recibir criptomonedas y quedarse con ellas o moverlas, pero si de repente esa persona necesita un representante, entonces viene lo que se llama nodos regionales, que son empresas que utilizan el software de Crypto Market y se encargan de todo lo que es la parte legislativa y contable. En ese caso nos brindan lo que es lo que llamamos el ramp in y off, es decir, el ingreso y egreso de dinero. Y en ese caso, los países donde estamos son Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia y El Salvador. También hay lugares donde tenemos nodos que se encargan de lo que es el marketplace y lo que es el tema de swaps y el proceso.
Y en esos países tuvieron que crear tanto sociedad como cuenta bancaria, imagino.
Exacto, hay empresas que se guían de las normativas locales, más ya todas las naciones tienen como, a través de la GAFI, tienen como una bajada de línea. Entonces,
contame cuál fue la más fácil y la más difícil al menos. ¿Dónde te hicieron la vida imposible, tanto en empresa como en cuenta bancaria, y dónde no?
No, obviamente en El Salvador es mucho más accesible. En la Argentina es un poco raro porque en la Argentina hay bancos que trabajan, que son muy crypto-friendly y todos, y hay otros que no. Tiene mucho que ver con el criterio del banco. Hay bancos que pican en punta de ser muy crypto-friendly y hay otros que no tanto. Entonces, no voy a nombrar ni uno ni los otros para que algunos no me ofendan y otros no me ataquen, así que básicamente. Y eso es lo malo, eso es lo malo de la centralización. Yo me tengo que cuidar lo que digo porque mañana me cierran las cuentas. Pero ¿qué pasa? Nosotros tenemos los Kryptonian y tenemos los nodos. Cuando ellos quieran hacer la de ellos, nosotros haremos la nuestra. Entonces, Krypton Market nos permite crecer así. Donde haya una persona que quiera participar, ya tenemos la oportunidad del marketplace. Donde haya una institución que nos quiera representar, ya tenemos oportunidad de procesadores de pago. Y así vamos creciendo.
Gracias.
No, por favor.
And Ken, I believe your cards are for United States, but people from here, Argentina, can totally use it, load it with the Lightning Network, and it will work, right?
Yeah, so you go to PayWithMoon.com, you get yourself a Moon card, right? Those cards are only usable in the United States. So obviously most of our customers are in the United States, but there are people around the world, expats, people travel, people wherever who need to make a purchase.
But I can use it in Amazon and Airbnb from here, right?
Sure, exactly, exactly. So that's been very powerful for people who need to make those purchases. And we have a lot of people who, you know, in the US who just also just want to live on Bitcoin, right? So there's a few different markets there. But in terms of expansion, we are looking at expanding into the Latin American market. You know, one of the great things about our product is that there's no KYC required to get a card. So it's very private, it's very accessible to a lot of people. We want to expand that to other countries where people need it most. The restriction of just having purchases available in the United States, there are regulatory reasons we have to do that, right? But as we expand internationally, you'll be able to make purchases in different regions and do all sorts of very interesting things because the regulatory framework in each region is very different. So, yeah, hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you. And continuing with the regulations, I would like to listen about more of what you free about that. You receive money, you have American bank accounts in your case, and people receive money from there, convert to Bitcoin or for crypto. In your case, also to pesos argentinos, I believe. BitWage also can convert to pesos.
Yeah. You can just get pesos.
So do you have a regulation issue, challenge you needed to solve there with that kind of thing? You are jumping capital controls there, both of you. Something to say about that?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we do have limits. Actually, you have to do above $1,000. But technically, what's happening is we're depositing to an account at like an exchange or a wallet that's being created either through our service or through kind of a flow, right? One of our partners is Ripio, another one is the Vibrant app. And so we make it super simple and easy. But technically, from our perspective, we're converting the funds, or we're depositing it into whatever wallet you provide. If you did decide you wanted pesos, there's this flow that makes it easy for you to do it, but you're technically doing it on another account that we've either, created an experience for to make it so that, you can open your account and then withdraw it easily.
The final user doesn't have to think about, I need to report something to the government. No, you receive pesos and that's it. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. You just put in a bank account detail, and you do that. And you can also get cash as well. I think through the Vibrant app, they have like a MoneyGram integration, so you can pull through MoneyGram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y Franco, yo quiero comentarte algo que justo lo mencionó Miles, muy interesante, y los chicos recién, es el tema de la interoperabilidad. Hoy uno puede usar cualquier aplicación, ¿sí? Y a medida que vaya habiendo más aplicaciones en el mercado, la parte de interoperabilidad, de hacer que puedas pasar de una plataforma, por ejemplo, Ping, a que puedas descargarte a tu billetera local, alguna de las que se mencionaron acá, es muy positivo también para el espacio en general, ¿no? Yo apuesto por un mundo en donde la aplicación la puede elegir el usuario, la user experience que más le guste, pero después se lo pueda bajar a su cuenta de Santander, si quiere tiene un banco, o a su billetera virtual, cual sea la local que estén usando, etcétera. Y lo mismo con lo que mencionaron ustedes recién.
Totalmente. Miles, about that, also I'm thinking about things, I'm not a lawyer or something like that, but where you receive, for example, in CashApp, money from a country that is not accepted in the USA, something like that. How you manage that legally? Or some other uses you know that I don't...
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, for example, you have a cash user and you receive money from people that is in blocked countries, something like that, from USA. How you can manage that? Because it's an open network, you really don't know where the money is coming from.
Yeah, it's an open network, and we're a public company, and obviously we believe in responsible regulation and do what we have to do. With everything, we try to maintain the ethos, and I think for the last 5+ years, we've done a really great job in doing that. Our focus is really to get Bitcoin into the hands of as many people as possible within the US and then around the globe as well. And we've done so by making a really unique ecosystem within our peer-to-peer network in the USA to start. And so we've made it really simple for customers to acquire Bitcoin, oftentimes for their first time. And so we have a full ecosystem of how you do this. When you spend on your cash card, you can round up the change and turn that into Bitcoin or any US stock as well, but I recommend Bitcoin. When you spend on your cash card, you can also get instant rewards, what we call boosts, Bitcoin boosts. I know the Argentinian equivalent is, I know Bello offers Bitcoin back as well when you swipe your card, so shout out to Bello. But we have tons of other ways as well. You can convert your direct deposit into Bitcoin instantly and for free. We have Bitcoin peer-to-peer within our 49 million customers within our network for free and instant payments with no address, just a cash tag. And then obviously Lightning and on-chain. But we also have fiat Lego blocks that can be connected into Bitcoin. So for example, you can take paper money into Walmart, have them scan a QR code, and then that money's zapped into your US dollar balance, and then you can convert that into Bitcoin. And so we're really proud about the way we've integrated the Bitcoin ecosystem into the larger kind of Cash App ecosystem that has taken really prominent network effects throughout the United States.
Thank you. And what I was thinking when we are open about open networks and everything, you don't really know where your client is going to come from. Do you happen to have some example that you didn't believe it's okay? We are having a lot of, for example, Ken, a lot of clients that are coming from Nigeria or some country you didn't expect, and you say, hey, a lot of people are taking the cards and the IP address is from there. What's happening? You researched that, or maybe you or any of you that has maybe with wage also some country that's doing wages and you didn't expect. You don't have an office or representative, nothing, but it's there and it's working.
A nosotros nos sorprendió mucho que tenemos muchísimos usuarios argentinos usando PIN desde España. Nos sorprendió muchísimo. Lo que sucede en Argentina...
Tiene sentido, ¿no?
Bueno,
emigrados y todo eso.
Claro, eso es lo que pasa. En el último tiempo, post pandemia, fue un boom. Fue un boom. Muchos usuarios que usaban nuestra rampa Fiat, la Tamex, de ahí venimos, empezaron a pedirnos de alguna manera si tenían alguna forma de cobrar afuera y poder bajárselo a cualquier país, a cualquier parte del mundo. Y hoy nos enteramos que esos usuarios se mudaron a España.
Yo creo que el tema es el siguiente. Nosotros, por ejemplo, legalmente no generamos remesas. Entonces, vos me decís, Krypton Market hace remesas, ¿es competencia de Western Union? No, porque ni siquiera hemos solicitado. Lo que sí hace Krypton Market es enseñarle la tecnología a los usuarios, a sus usuarios, para decirles que si ellos quieren comprar una criptomoneda a nosotros en la Argentina, usemos un caso de uso, un migrante venezolano que está trabajando, no sé si ustedes saben, pero acá en Argentina se trabaja en negro y mucho. Entonces, entonces esa persona quiere recibir dinero y quiere mandarle a un familiar allá. Nosotros estamos totalmente, digamos, aprobados para trabajar en la compra y venta de criptomonedas. Si nuestro usuario, voy a usar a José de ejemplo, decide regalarle dinero a su mamá en Venezuela y que su mamá después se lo venda a otra persona que no es Krypton Market, ahí nosotros no estamos prestando el mismo servicio que Western Union porque no le estamos comprando y vendiendo a las dos partes o obligándolos. Por lo tanto, ¿hacemos remesa? No. ¿Usamos tecnología para romper con los monopolios de la remesa que le sacan el 20% a las personas? Sí, claro, pero no hacemos remesa. Entonces, yo creo que las leyes hoy en día están un poco caducas y está en nosotros, que sabemos la tecnología que tenemos enfrente, ser audaces para traer leyes que sean mejores y que apliquen a la necesidad de la gente.
But is it true that 20% in
18% cobra Western Union. Te lo digo porque en el año 2007 yo viví en Finlandia, mis hijos están ahí, levanten la mano, los amo, ¿ves? Y yo le quería mandar un regalo a mi mamá y estaba construyendo una familia y yo soy joven y no podía pagar mucho a mi mamá y esos 20% me dolían. Y yo había trabajado por eso. Y yo no sé si acá está el dueño de Western Union, pero no me ayudó en nada. Entonces, la verdad, no, en serio les digo, a ustedes les da risa, a mí me molesto eso. Entonces, yo creo que ves a un dolor, a una necesidad, una tecnología, una solución, y de eso se trata.
Yeah, can you have something about that? Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, Moon is a very much focused on privacy, right? We really want to make sure things are as private as possible. So it's a tricky balance sometimes to learn about our users versus preserving their privacy, right? Like,
that's because also you have an extension, browser extension, it works, right?
we have an extension
and you need
and
some
a website.
information from the browser there.
So even though we in theory, we could get more data, but we don't. We don't take any data. We don't want your data, right? We just fundamentally believe in privacy. That is the future. That is why our customers love us. We want to maintain that. So, sometimes people say, your browser extension, I bet it's harvesting all my data. And I was like, no. You can see the permissions that we request. It's extremely limited. But it does present a problem, right? Like, in many ways, how do we learn about our customers? Is when they email us and say, hey, I love your product, or hey, I hate your product, I wish it was this, I wish it was that, right? We get this feedback from customers, and it allows us to tweak and learn and map out our roadmap for international expansion. If, say, we have a huge number of people from Argentina with interest in our product and they contact us, like, that's extremely valuable to hear from people, but it's not like a traditional product where it's like, hey, we do KYC on everybody, we know exactly where they are, we know everything about them, we've got cookies, we're tracking them across the internet, we know their interests and their hobbies. Like, we'd reject that entire model, right? It makes certain things more difficult, but that's almost the, one of the largest value propositions of what we offer.
And, I love this idea of privacy. And a lot of people often focus on sort of, the front part of the transaction and the privacy related to that. From our perspective, what's important is privacy once you actually have your money, where it is. So yeah, we do have to do KYC in order. We work with the traditional banking systems. We do KYC.
Also, it's different amounts, different use case there than you. So it's
different use cases. And to be very clear, we are legally compliant with all regulations and stuff like that. Just to be clear.
Yeah. That was not to take a shot
at
it, but I think that what's important here is that where does your money ultimately end up, right? Because it's you want to think about, okay, where's your control? What is the safety of your money, and what is the privacy of that money once you actually have it in the place that you have? And so our approach, our goal, is to enable all of the systems in the world that do like payroll and HR deposits to always have the freedom to pay you exactly into whatever wallet, whether it be non-custodial or custodial, so that you always have that choice to be able to be as private as you want to be with your money.
Totally agree. Perfect. You have one more minute. We have some, maybe.
Yo, Franco, te quiero agradecer que sos un genio. Acá ustedes no saben, pero Franco es un OG de cripto. Él está en cripto hace... Sí.
Es verdad.
Coiner.
Es verdad. Yo también afirmo mis primeros miedos sobre Crypto Market, de cómo lo hacía y todo, era mandar mensajes a cualquier red y Franco te contestaba y siempre te trató. La verdad que es la esencia. Yo creo que...
Un honor tenerlo de moderador hoy.
Bueno, gracias por la... Soy medio mala onda igual cuando respondo y me tiran ideas, soy siempre pesimista, soy una visión bastante... I'm not sure if that will work, I say, but well, thank you. Well, we have to end only 10 seconds, so thank you all.
Sí, les voy a decir, nosotros estamos rifando a las 5 de la tarde una camiseta oficial de la selección, así que si quieren, vayan, anótense, si quieren ganársela.
Bien. Y nosotros vamos a estar intentando ganar la camiseta.
Vamos, me gustó. Chao, chicos, nos vemos.
Gracias a todos.
Gracias.
Hello, hello.